Hi, I'm Jacqui Duran, independent Scentsy consultant, and it is Tuesday, training day. Yes, I get very excited about my Tuesdays. So, those of you joining live, welcome, welcome, welcome. Remember, every single Tuesday, I come to you with a new training topic. Tuesday just happens to be the perfect day for training, I think. Why not? I think it's better than the middle of the week, it's better than the beginning, and it's better than the end. So I think catching it right here is a perfect spot to really focus on your business. So, of course, every single week, our topic is all about working our Scentsy business and making it work for us the way we want it to work. Not every consultant is exactly the same. So today our topic is going to be focused more on how to boost your Scentsy business. And I wanted to do it in this way because the way that I was thinking of it is, regardless if you are a consultant and have been for quite a while, or maybe you just joined recently, maybe you are a returning consultant. Because you guys remember that if you are a consultant and you deactivate or you quit Scentsy, when you are ready, you can rejoin for absolutely free. You do not have to be with the same sponsor that you were with originally. Of course, if they were helpful to you, Madison, please stop. If they were helpful to you and able to work with you in your business, then by all means, stick with your sponsor. But you can, of course, always change sponsors. So when you're rejoining, anyway. You can do that after 3 months of being inactive. So after 3 months of not having any sales and not being a Scentsy consultant, you can, Madison, please stop. You can rejoin, and you can do that just simply by emailing Scentsy at accountservices@scentsy.com. And then what you're going to need to do, though, is if you are wanting to sign up and rejoin under a new consultant or a new sponsor than what you previously were, then you will have to get their legal name. So however it is with Scentsy. For example, my name is actually Jacqueline, but I go by Jacqui. So
or she goes by too.
Yeah, or that.
All time.
So you'll need that person's legal name with how they are registered with Scentsy as a consultant, and then their consultant ID. So it's really a very simple process, and it's all done, like I said, via that email. But so I wanted to kind of encompass that group of people because I've had a handful of consultants who have rejoined under me. And so it's sometimes kind of hard to get a grasp on jumping right back into it, right? Some people are ready to go, right? They pick up exactly where they left off, and they were very organized and they were ready. And Madison, please stop. And they didn't really need any help. But there's some who maybe have been out for a little while longer, or maybe they didn't have the most greatest start when they started with Scentsy. Madison, I'm not going to tell you again. Stop. Or, I don't know, they just feel like somebody might work better for them. I don't know what everybody's circumstances are, but this topic is designed more for everybody, I hope. So I hope that I'm encompassing everyone when I talk about this topic. So, boosting our Scentsy business. You can do a boost to your business at any time. It doesn't have to be at a certain time. It doesn't have to be right when you start. It doesn't have to be in the middle. It doesn't have to be when you're about to be inactivated if you haven't been active. It's any time in your Scentsy journey. You can boost your business. My favorite way to do this is doing a reboot. And you guys have heard me talk about this before in previous trainings. I think that it is very important for all of us to kind of take that step back and reevaluate not only our business, but then how we as business owners are actually running our business. Because sometimes, even though something may have been working for a while, or you think it was working, it may not be. And sometimes it takes that second look. I did a class last week at my day job, and we talked somewhat about this topic, about being able to recognize things that we want to call our trigger. So things that will trigger us to maybe veer off course, right? And these can be different things. So different things that could veer you off and away from your Scentsy business. There's lots of that. Sometimes life just gets in the way. But the beauty of Scentsy is that you can literally pick it up when life calms down for another moment. I really think that the best way to reboot your business is kind of starting back at square one. So what you need to do, again, whether you're first starting out, been a consultant for a while, or ready to restart your business, the first thing you want to do is just kind of write down or do an overview. And my suggestion is to lay out the top 5 things that you feel are most important in your business. For me personally, that is customer service, marketing, branding, sales, and recruiting. And not in any particular order. I don't put one thing on trumping another. I kind of try to touch on those 5 points on different days throughout my week. So I kind of give a theme to every single day. And so then that way I can touch on all those different aspects. And so by the end of the week, I've touched my business in those different unique ways for each of those reasons. And when you're talking about boosting your business, you really have to be in the mindset of this is a business. When I first started, I've shared my story with you guys before. When I first started, this was simply a hobby. I liked Scentsy. I thought it would be fun to do, and I joined. And so I didn't, really put my back into it. Okay. I didn't bust down the door of shooting star, sensational star, anything like that. I started off like a turtle, very slowly. And of course, that's my own, excuse me, it's my own fault, because my sponsor was right there, ready and able. However, I wasn't in the mindset to really have it be a business. So for me, I didn't work it that way. I didn't look at it that way. So I didn't work it that way. So if you're wanting to boost your business, you have to be in the mindset of this is a business. So for example, at my day job, I rely heavily on my Outlook calendar to tell me when the next class is, when the next meeting is, where I need to be, if I need to do my performance reviews, if I need to do the chronos for my staff, whatever it is, I rely on that calendar, and it's very specifically detailed out for me, right? So I know what I need to do, when I need to do it, and I have the tools to do it, right? Because I've got the training. I know how to do it. We have to apply the same concepts, because if I didn't do those classes, if I didn't attend those meetings, if I didn't create the tip sheets, if I didn't complete the monthly high dollar report, then I can guarantee you my boss is going to be over there looking at me like, what you doing? Actually, she'd probably send me an email first, or maybe come over to my desk. I don't know. But I can guarantee you she wouldn't be happy. And with my day job, I have somebody like that who's going to keep me accountable, right? I know that if I don't get these things done, I'm going to have somebody talking to me. Now in Scentsy, we're our own boss, right? We make those schedules. We decide if we're going to do a team meeting. We decide if we're going to do a video. We decide if we're going to make some phone calls. We decide if we're going to go pass out some samples. We make those decisions. And now if you're my direct downline and my direct team, then you know It's not like Jacqui's going to come a knocking if I don't get my samples out this month, or Jacqui's going to be sending me an email if I didn't do any parties or any sales. No, I'm not, not because I don't care, not because I don't have any desire to help. It's simply for the fact that everybody works their business according to what works for them. Again, some people do it as a hobby. Some people are working this as their part-time job. Some people want this to be their full-time job. So in order to make those things happen, what do we have to do? We have to be able to boost that business when we need to boost that business. And we have to be able to recognize when it's time to put that boost on, right? We need to know when it's time to put our butt in gear and get out there and do some work. Because again, nobody's going to come knocking at your door. Nobody's going to come ring you up and say, hey, I want you to go do this. I want you to call 6 people today. And then I want you to follow up with all the customers that you had in March. And then I want you to turn around, and then I want you to go to your workstation. I want you to run a report. I want to see what your lifetime PRV is and blah, 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 blah. There's not going to be anybody giving me those directions. I kind of have to put myself in the mindset of this is my business. So what do I need to focus on? I made my list of 5 things, right? Customer focused, marketing, branding, selling, and recruiting. Those are my 5 core values in my Scentsy business. So in order to make sure that I'm working all of those core values, I give myself my own tasks for the week for those core values. So let me give you an example of each one so you kind of have an idea of what I'm talking about. Customer service. Those are going to be my follow-up phone calls. And I normally do all of my follow-ups on Thursdays. I kind of have my own system of how I do my follow-ups. Everybody's system is a little bit different. I personally, I've tried it a handful of different ways. The best way that I found that worked for me is I have an envelope or a folder there on my desk. And for a rolling 3-month period, I put all orders into that folder. So then when on Thursdays, I'm ready for my follow-ups, I'm going to go and I'm going to pull my folder. And those are the people that I'm going to work through. I literally just work my way through the list. Now, what I actually do is when I'm getting ready, like the first time that I jump in and start doing those follow-ups, I shuffle them up because I don't want to call all the people who just ordered 2 weeks ago or a week ago or something like that. So I try and shuffle them up so I'm not doing them in any necessarily order, but just making sure that I'm touching all of them. So my goal for the month that I'm in is to work through all of those. I may not get a hold of everybody, and normally I don't. But what I will do is I'll put in a phone call. I do have a good number of customers who prefer email, and I have a good number of customers who prefer text. So again, depending on how my customers prefer to be contacted and how they communicate with me will determine how I'm contacting them. So I'm not physically maybe calling every single person because I will always ask that question, how do you prefer to be contacted? And I try to accommodate them as best as I can. So that's kind of my focus for how I work my customer service core value. Marketing. How do I do my marketing? Marketing is done for me on Saturdays. Saturday is what I use as my marketing day. Now, a lot of my marketing, because the majority of my business is all done via social media. So for me, marketing consists of social media. So that's me posting on my business fan page. I will schedule the posts out there. I will do my Pinterest marketing, get all that done. I might do some tweets, get that set up. I might do some Snapchatting. I might do some periscoping. It just kind of determines what my mood is that week, which way I'm kind of blowing in the wind. I might do some fun videos on YouTube. Any one of those different sources are things that I'm going to be working on when I'm talking about my marketing. And then, of course, with my marketing, I'm also somewhat organizing as I kind of go along. Because there's lots of different apps. I talked to you guys about my favorite ones to help you kind of post in your social media. And so I think whenever you can kind of have that shortcut, then you should take it.
I'm not my taco, mommy.
Okay, I'll be there in just a minute, all right?
Okay.
Okay.
Even I'm going to save a picture for you to color.
Yay! So that's marketing on Saturdays. Customer service, marketing, branding. Branding is number 3, not in any particular order. So branding, for me, the majority of my week is spent with the job, and then at home or running any miscellaneous errands. Now, when I go out, I do, if I'm going out for like a day of running errands, I usually will put in my purse, or if I happen to be carrying my day bag, if I have my day bag with me, then I always have a pouch party in there. And so that kind of gives me everything I need to have on the go. If I'm just quickly running into the store, what have you, in my purse, I keep product lists. And now that we're getting into the summer months, if it was during the winter or during the fall, anything like that, I would actually carry my samples around with me, and then that way I would pass those out. This time of the year, however, it starts to get warm and nobody wants melty wax. So in order to stay away from the melty wax, instead of carrying these guys in my purse, what I actually do is I will take business cards, and then on the back, I will put one of the rub and sniff stickers on them. They go in my purse along with the product list. And so I have a sample and a rub and smell format. I have my business card with all my information, and I have a product list, which has everything, right? Just like a catalog, but it all fits in my purse. So I am branded in that respect, to where if I go to the grocery store and maybe I want to just give a thank you to the cashier, I might hand her a product list and a business card with a sticker on the back. If I go to the bank, I return in a little tube thingy. If I go through that, then I will send them back one of my business cards in it. Of course, it smells pretty when they get it and they open up their little thingamabob, because it's got a sniff sticker on it. So that's a really easy way to market or brand yourself and do some marketing too. Number 4, we're going to jump to sales. Sales. You got to have parties, right? Or you got to be talking about Scentsy. You at least got to be talking about Scentsy. So you need to make sure that wherever you're at, you're doing those, you're planting those seeds wherever you are. Again, it kind of helps me, because for me, Scentsy truly sells itself. I do not consider myself a salesperson. I've probably told my director this half a dozen or a dozen times. I will probably never be your number 1 salesperson. I'm just not that person. But I have found over the years of being a Scentsy consultant that Scentsy truly sells itself. And I've joked about it, but I will come back to it time and time again. I can walk into a room filled with people. I can put a warmer in the middle of the room. I can put some scents in it, lay out maybe a couple business cards or catalogs and order forms, turn that warmer on and leave for 20, 30 minutes. Come back, and I guarantee you I will at least have 1 order sitting there for me. When I go to work, I will take it, and I take my bag party, and I will literally just set it on my back desk. I don't talk about it. I don't say anything, really, because I shouldn't be like cross-promoting when I work. My work kind of frowns upon that. So I don't say anything. I just have it with me. But it never fails. Everybody in the office who knows me knows that I sell Scentsy. When they see my smell me bag, they are at my desk and they are wanting to smell whatever I happen to have. And if I carry bars with me, they will 9 times out of 10 disappear because they'll all want to get the bars. I've actually gotten party orders that way just by passing around my bag. I've done that maybe 3 or 4 times, I want to say, where I've literally just kind of passed my bag around to a couple of people and just said, hey, here it is, sniff through some scents during the day, bring it back to me at the end of the day. By the time it comes back to me, I've got like over $200 in orders. Did I do anything? No, I worked all day. I was in the meetings and the training classes. But when I came back, I had all these orders. Was I standing there selling it? No. My bag was circulating and doing all the work for me. It sells itself, people. Recruiting. My favorite topic of all. If you are truly focused, laser beam focused on wanting to build a business, you need to be recruiting. You have to. You have to. You have to. Because even if you're the person who can pull in $3,000 in sales every single month, you're going to make great commission. But in order for you to really bump up your income and be able to make this part-time, full-time income, you need to be growing a team. You need to be recruiting. So the question comes, where do I find people to join my team? Well, that can come from a variety of different places. Of course, you want to be talking Scentsy, just like when you're focusing on selling Scentsy or branding yourself or what have you. You want to be talking Scentsy, working into conversations. When I go to Little Miss School, I'll go in there and I'll maybe be talking to the teachers or something, and it never fails. Somehow, some way, in one of the conversations, it'll circle around, and I can say, "Oh yeah, I went and washed my car last week and put in a new scent circle of coconut lemongrass, and you should smell my car right now." I work it into different conversations of maybe how I use it, or if I'm branded, 9 times out of 10 they'll see it and say something about it. But I think you just have to be talking about it, and you need to be really focusing on offering the opportunity to every single host that you have. I think was it last week or the week before we talked about parties? But if you go back through my Tuesday training videos, then you will see there's a really great video discussion chat in which we talked about flipping the host. So I think that's a really, really, really good thing to keep in the back of your mind. So those hosts should be the very first people that you're offering the opportunity to join your Scentsy team too. The next are going to be any leads that you have. So if you've done fundraisers, if you've done any events, if you've done anything like that, or maybe you've just gotten random people who have visited your website and said that they wanted more information on joining Scentsy, you need to be prepared with what we call a possibility packet. People may call them different things. I've just always stuck with possibility packet because it's kind of the way I look at it. And so what's a possibility packet? It's simply whatever it is that you feel that you could give out to your potential team members. What I will put in mine is if it's a home party or a bag party host, it will be a catalog, a monthly special flyer.
Hey, did you know bubble and trouble rhyme together because they have the same ending sound?
They do. Good job. High five. Awesome.
Also, turtle and I think I've not rhyming word starts with turtle.
Hurdle.
Hurdle? No, it has the sound to end.
Okay, we'll talk about it in a minute, okay?
Okay.
Possibility packet. Catalog, monthly special flyer. It's usually a join brochure that I buy through the Scentsy Family Store. I will always throw in a scent sample and one of my postcards. Sorry. I'm still getting over like this sinus junk. It's rather annoying. And then one thing that I will normally do for my possibility packets, I'm trying to see if I had one right there. I know I had a couple laid out the other day, but I don't know where I put them. But I will actually put a discontinued party tester in there as well. The reason I do that, I have two reasons for doing it. One is to help them visualize how easy it is to work your Scentsy business, because those testers are our lifeline, right? These little guys, this is how we run our business. These are our people. These are our employees who work for us. Well, because I've been a consultant for a while, I've got lots of testers that are discontinued. So rather than just letting them pile up, what I will do is I will put them in my possibility packets, and I will just, when I'm talking to that person, I do a little blurb about how, look, this is what I do. This is how I work my business. These little guys are right here. And that's truly all you need, because Scentsy sells itself because it smells flippin' fabulous. And they're going to be like, oh, it sure does. Pink tulips is amazing. Yes, it is. But when it's a discontinued tester, what they can do, oh, look, I've got a dish right here. I must be a consultant because I just have all these things at my disposal. Discontinued tester. There's wax in there, right? That's wax. It's usable wax. Why are we letting it just pile up in the corner? So I put these guys that when they're discontinued, so pink tulips is not one. I will take the discontinued ones and put one in a possibility packet along with those other things. And then so I'll remind them, this is the convenience of being a consultant. This is, how we're able to show off our wax. It's very easy to carry, blah, blah, blah. But what they can do then is then I will tell them, did you know that you can use this sample? All they have to do is take their warmer at home, take their tester, turn it upside down, give it a handful of minutes. You can come back and the wax will melt itself out because of the warmth of the dish. And it will just plop out. It'll be in their dish. They've got a whole maybe cube. Is that like a cube? I don't know what the equivalent of that is. It's at least a cube of this scent. So not only did I show them how awesome it is to be a consultant, because you get all the testers of all the scents when you join within your starter kit, but this is how easy it is. I carry these guys around, and these are my employees. And then I add a bonus for you. Why don't you try out this scent and, see what you think of it, and then we'll look for scents that match it that are in the current catalog. It just depends on what scent it is, really. So it's more of a gift in that respect. That's the only reason I put it in my possibility packets. And I actually got the original idea, I think it was from my superstar director way back when I first started. And I've always just done it. It's something I've stuck with, I've done. I don't know, something I do. Other things that I've seen people put in their possibility packets is their story. So they will either have their story, typed up so they can print it out to put in there. This is something that I've been saying, I'm going to do this. And I've got like 3 or 4 rough drafts because I was trying to figure out the best way to do it, because I wanted to order some like trifolds through Vistaprint. And so one of them was a bigger one, so I could add more words. And then I decided, I don't want to go that way. I wanted to go another way. So I wanted to try postcards. So I had to knock off the words. Running in circles. It's apparently what I do. So I need to get on and do that, though. It is truly still on my to-do list. But people will include that as well, because I think your story is very powerful. So find a way. I would encourage you to find a way to try and work that into your possibility packet, because like I said, your story is powerful. It could, you may be sitting there going, oh, well, I haven't done anything special. I haven't earned any trips. I haven't, whatever. Doesn't matter. Your story is your story. Why did you join Scentsy? Why do you stay a Scentsy consultant? What is your why? That's what your story needs to be about. Because trust me, guys, there are tons of other people out there who might be in the same situation you are, or know where you're coming from, or can just truly relate to you. This business is all about relationships and building relationships, whether it's through a customer, whether it's through a potential team member, whether it's through your upline, whether it's through networking with different consultants, whatever. It's all about networking and being able to build those relationships. So you want to, being able to start off with your story is a really great way to allow people to connect with you on that personal level. So throwing it out there as an idea. Again, it's on my own personal to-do list. I need to do it. Those are how I work my business, touching on my 5 core values. So every single week of every single month, those are the things I'm doing. And I'm simply repeating that process every month. Starts over again. All again. The key to Scentsy is truly finding your rhythm and repeating that rhythm. You are going to find amazing results when you start to follow your own rhythm. Because remember, what works for you may not work for her and may not work for him, but it works for you. That's your rhythm. That's your path. That's where you go. For me, it took me a long time to find that rhythm, and a year and a half in to decide I wanted it to be a business. And then I had to figure out what my rhythm was. How am I going to work this thing as a business? How am I really going to kick this business into gear? Because I honestly had to kick my business into gear. Remember I said I started out as a hobby? Yeah, I never got past the hobby stage, people. I think I maybe made my list of 100, but I didn't really work from it. I never went back to it. So I've heard it's, talked about in different ways, relaunching, what have you. I like to call it boosting your business, because that's truly what you're doing. You're boosting it. So in whatever way that is, figure out the areas that you're lacking, step back, call in another person, another set of eyes, whether that's your sponsor, whether it's your friend, whether it's just your husband. I will bounce ideas off my husband all the time. He is not, he's very supportive of my business. He loves me selling Scentsy. He has no problem with it. He doesn't give me any guff anymore. He used to when I first started. He doesn't even blink an eye anymore when he sees the UPS truck. But he's not invested enough to be like, yeah, I'm going to join with you. He's like, no, honey, this is your thing. You do your thing. I'll be over here playing Xbox. Works. I'm happy. He's happy. But I will bounce ideas off of him all the time. He's the one who, when I originally started trying to brand myself in my Scentsy business, and I did the melting pot as the name of my website, and he was the one who actually came up with that name. I was bouncing some different things off of him, and he came back with that. I'll try and bounce, like if I've got marketing ideas, I'll bounce those off of him and things like this. Some of it he doesn't get because he doesn't understand a lot of the social media that I do, but he can sometimes get the idea across. And then he's also very helpful in being able to, because he's not involved in Scentsy, he has that perspective of being able to say, well, yeah, that'd be something that I would look at, if I was talking about what should I say in this ad, or yeah, that would catch my attention, what have you. So it doesn't even have to be anybody who's necessarily in Scentsy with you. It could be your spouse, it could be your best friend, whatever. But have that person to bounce ideas off of, because sometimes it just does take that second set of eyes to look at it and go, well, wait a minute, what about this over here? Or have you tried this? Because that would work for me if somebody was trying to get me to host a party. It's great to get that feedback and those ideas. If you feel comfortable enough talking to your customers or your previous hosts about stuff like that, why not? I've got a couple that I talk with. I don't do that with every single host or every single customer, of course, because I don't, they're not here for that. They want their Scentsy, and that's what they want, and they're good to go. Madison Elizabeth, stop being a monkey. And then you have to be a mom and use the middle name. Anyway, so boosting your business in those ways. You have to make that conscious choice. Like I said, your sponsor, you don't have a boss, your director, your upline, your whatever, they're not going to come knocking at your door if you haven't done anything this week. You're going to have to knock on your own door. You're going to have to light your own fire. And if that takes sitting back and figuring out your own reward system for what you do it that way. You know, be able to set your goals, your month, you know, I think it's important to have those short-term goals and definitely have a monthly goal. Figure out what, you know, how much do you want to get paid for this month? Well, now that you've got that figure, now you need to decide, how am I going to get those sales? I need to book some parties, right? Or I need to, you know, make some phone calls. I need to reach out. I need to go, you know, down to the church and see if I can set up a booth at their vendor event that they're having. Different things like that. I need to figure out how I'm going to make that money, right? I have to figure that out. Nobody is going to tell me. My sponsor is not going to come over to my house and organize my testers and say, okay, you need to do this. You need to go to your workstation. You should be running a report. You should be looking at it this way. Nobody's going to do that for me. I'm going to have to make the conscious choice to say, this is my business. I'm going to run it like a business, and I'm going to hold myself accountable. And you know what? If I hit my goal of $1,000 in sales, I'm going to go buy myself a brand new pair of Adidas sneakers. Yeah, I've got my eye on a new pair. That would be like my personal goal for myself, right? That would be my personal incentive to myself. It's a treat to me, right? No rule that says that you can't treat yourself. I think you should treat yourself. And maybe it's just something as simple as, you know what, if I hit my goal this month, my goal is to be, let's make it really simple. My goal is to be active this month. So in order to be active this month, I need to make, in the US, $150 in PRV. How am I going to do that? All right, I'm going to follow up with these people that bought from me in February. And I'm going to circle back and I'm going to ask them, hey, how do you like your scents? Are you ready for new scents? We've got the new catalog out. I've tried a couple of the smells, and Amazon Rain is one you are going to love. Trust me, you all will love Amazon Rain when you try it. I'm buying it by the 6-pack now. So I'd love for you to try Amazon Rain. I think it's great. Clothesline is another great one that I've tried. I've been wearing that constantly. You know, you want to be able to make those phone calls and put that bug in their ear and be like, okay, can I meet you for a Starbucks on Saturday? And I'll come and bring you the new catalog, and I'll bring some of the scents, and you can sniff them and tell me what you think. You could set up a date like that. You could, you know, invite people over to your house. Have your own open house. I have one of my team members in New York, Goldie, and she is, I'm so proud of her because she is really focused and really trying to dial in on how she can really build her customer base. She joined not too long ago, so she's still working on building that customer base, booking those parties, and just really truly getting the word out there. So one of her own ideas that she shared with me was that she was going to set up a party at her I think it was initially at her home, but someone had suggested that they could do it, that she could possibly set up at like the clubhouse and do it for everybody who lived there. So she thought, oh my gosh, that would be fantastic. And I was like, yeah, of course that's fantastic. The more people you're going to talk to, the better, right? Because the more people you talk to, the more potential customers you're going to have, the more potential hosts you're going to have, the more opportunities you're going to have to talk to people about Scentsy, sharing your why, sharing your story, and letting Scentsy speak for itself, because trust me, it sells itself. If you're going to be setting up at a place like that, though, make sure you have a warmer with a really good, strong scent in it going. That will bring people to your table just like a magnet. Bam, it's a Scentsy magnet. So if you don't have a host, be your own, whether that's inviting people to your house or whether that's doing something like Goldie's going to do and setting up like a reoccurring event at the clubhouse. Perfect opportunity, right? She created that opportunity. Did I go out to New York and set that up for her? No. I didn't hold her account. I'm not going to, but, I'm going to, of course, encourage her and work with her as she goes along her journey. But I'm not going to sit there and micromanage to make sure that she's getting done what she says that she's going to do. That's not my place. It's not my job. Her Scentsy business is her Scentsy business. I am here as a sponsor, as a friend, as a tribe member. I am here to help support, give ideas, encourage, motivate. That's what I do. That's what I'm here for. And to share the ideas that we've got to help grow our business. Because like I said, once you find that rhythm, you're going to find your business is truly going to boost itself, because you're going to be in such a rhythm. And mine happened, like I said, I got into that little rhythm, got into my routine, and before I knew it, my team was exploding. I was having people joining. My sales were going amazing. Everything was just really synchronized. It was perfect. So I'm trying to keep that boost, that upward momentum going for myself and my business, because that's what I want for me. I really try and set those goals out and really try and make them manageable and attainable. That's a very important key. So figure out what works for you. Those are the ways in which that you can really focus on boosting your business. If you start putting some of those actions into a plan and really start acting on them, you are going to see results. Some results happen overnight. Most of the time, though, you're going to see it in a pattern. So everything that you're doing, maybe you're going to have a really good month this month, and that momentum is going to build and build and build. And then before you know it, you're exactly where you wanted to be. Okay. That's when you need to, again, step yourself back and look again. Okay. Now, where do I need to focus? What areas am I lacking? You see how it's just a big start. We're not trying to do something new every other month. We're not trying to do anything like that. We're not trying to make it complicated. You just need to simply find that rhythm and then just keep repeating that cycle. Repeat, 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 repeat. You are going to soon know and notice a difference in your business and the way that your business is running, and you are going to be happy about it. As always, if you guys have any questions, you can feel free to reach out to me. Of course, I would always encourage you to get with your sponsor, your director, your upline, what have you. You can always contact consultant support. They are amazing people at Scentsy, helping us and guiding us on our way. If you ever have a product question, anything like that, maybe you have a question about a return, or I don't know, you can always give consultant support a call, and they will be able to, 9 times out of 10, solve your issue for you in the same phone call. So kudos to those people. So definitely take advantage of your resources. Know where those resources are. The consultant support. They are on your workstation in the news tab, or in the resources tab, or in the training center of your workstation. If your sponsor or director or upline has Facebook groups, make sure you're actively involved. Get in there and ask those questions when you have them. Nobody's going to know that you're needing help. Nobody's going to know that you're curious to know more about the RV warmer unless you ask about the RV warmer. We can't read minds. So you need to be able and comfortable enough to ask when you need help, and reach out to those tribe members if you have them. And if not, work on making some tribe members. I hope that you all have an amazing week. I hope it's fabulous. It's rainy and gloomy outside, but it's Taco Tuesday, so I'm about to go make us some tacos. Next week for our training, I want to do something fun next week. I have some ideas. Very exciting. Make sure you're subscribed to my channel every single Tuesday. Like I said, Training Tuesday. And then, of course, you can join me for my fun Scent and Warm of the Month reviews. I love all those fun videos in between. I've got my confessions from the Camry, where I truly lay it on the line for you people. So just make sure you're subscribed, following along. Most of all, have fun and be you. You're going to have the most success that way. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Talk to you all soon. Peace, love, happiness. Bye.